What's going on, my beautiful people? Hello, everyone. Welcome to another video. My name is Kemal AA, and this is another Chelsea transfer news daily video for you guys, where I keep you guys up to date with all the latest Chelsea news and news on Erling Haaland. Once again, I speak about this guy every single transfer news daily. Harry Kane as well emerged as a primary target. We'll be speaking about Harry Kane as striking options. Will Chelsea finally get their man? We'll also be speaking about the situation with Billy Gilmour on the verge of signing for Norwich City on loan. We'll be speaking about him, but before I do get into all of it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification. And without further ado, let's get straight into this news daily. And starting off with Erling Haaland for British Romano on this Here We Go podcast confirmed Chelsea will definitely be buying a striker this summer. Something that you love to hear. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes, it's not something glamorous. It's not exciting news because we know that striker is a priority. But it's good to know we got that reassurance that Chelsea will 100% sign a striker. Now the question is, who is it going to be? And is he going to be of high calibre? He was saying that Chelsea will buy a new striker this summer, but have not yet made a decision on who. Now that is slightly worrying, I'm not going to lie, and I'll explain why in a second. However, he's saying that Borussia Dortmund hope to keep Erling Haaland. Now, referring back to the central point, he said that we haven't made a decision yet. Now, I'm pretty certain we have. You know, Erling Haaland seems to be the priority. Matt Law's already confirmed it. Simon Johnson, who writes for The Athletic, Liam Toomey, and Nizar Kinsella, who, of course, writes for the publication Goal.com. They've all confirmed that Erling Haaland is number one. So this is quite baffling to me that we haven't decided according to Fabrizio. You know, of course, he's a tier one journalist, so he's got all his sources and connections. But the fact that we haven't made a decision, you know, we're sitting here at the end of June. Yeah, July is looming upon us. We are on the verge of entering June, and we still haven't got decided who to sign yet. Let's not forget, negotiations take time, especially when you're doing mega deals like Harry Kane or Erling Haaland. You know, these are mega deals that are going to be, astronomical fees, agent fees, wages, bonuses, clauses, you name it. It's going to take time to negotiate. So, the fact that we're nearly entering July and we haven't decided who to sign yet, and let's not forget pre-season is starting in 4 weeks. Thomas Tuchel's already come out and said that he wants to ensure Chelsea have a flying start for next season because we've got a tough start to the season. We've got a tough, heavy schedule. We want to compete for the Premier League title. We need to get raring to go. We need to start, turning on that engine. We need to get ready for the season. Euros is nearly finished now. Not nearly finished, but, it started quite a while back now. Euros aren't going to be too long until that finishes. Pre-season starts in 4 or 5 weeks. Ideally, you want to get your signings in before pre-season so they can adjust to the manager's tactics, adapt to the season, adapt to the teammates, adapt to the city. Of course, you have the adaptation period. And of course, Tuchel will be implementing his own tactics and system. And it's already confirmed that he would like to implement a 4 at the back system. So we're already transitioning from a 3 at the back to a 4 at the back. That's going to take time. That's going to take time to coach, to implement all the tactics required and necessary. You want your signings there. If a signing comes in like Kai Havertz back in September, where pretty much the season's already started, they're going to adapt. They're not going to hit the ground running. They're going to have time to adapt, and that can hinder our possibilities of winning a Premier League. So I don't like the fact that we haven't decided who to sign. Now, in terms of what Borussia Dortmund have said that they hope to keep, now that key word there, hope, that's massive. That is major stuff. And why is it massive? Because now, 2 weeks ago, it came out in reports that Dortmund were reluctant to sell. They were adamant they were going to be keeping Erling Haaland. He's not for sale. He's not leaving. We know Sancho is heading to United. That's an imminent move. That's going to happen in the next few days, maybe maximum next couple of weeks. That's going to be confirmed. Now, they're adamant they want to keep Erling Haaland. However, now, maybe with what's happening behind the scenes with Chelsea in advanced negotiation potentially, maybe we're not in an advanced negotiation, but potentially we are. We know how Chelsea operate. We like to operate in pure privacy, in secrecy. Hopefully we're cooking behind the scenes. I'm sure that we are. If in fact we are in advanced negotiations, then it makes sense as to why Dortmund are hoping to keep Haaland, because if Chelsea are really aggressive with their pursuit, which Romans confirmed. We've seen multiple reports coming out that Romans, he's going to be really aggressive in the market. He's going to be aggressive to sign Erling Haaland because Erling Haaland is his dream target. He wants Haaland at Chelsea, just like every other Chelsea fan. Of course, the hierarchy. Then, of course, it is going to make Dortmund a bit scared. We can bully Dortmund. We have the finances, we've got the power, we've got the resources. We're a superior club to Dortmund, no disrespect to them. So, of course, we can bully them in the market. If we want Haaland, we could go get it for Haaland. As I said, Hakimi is pretty much signed for PSG. Fabrizio said, here we go. That's not going to change. So we've got the finances. There's no excuse. You put the money on the table. Put the money where your mouth is. As simple as that. And I fully expected Chelsea to be aggressive in this. Am I optimistic for Haaland to sign? Yes, I am. Am I saying it's going to happen? Of course not. Things change. Football changes very quickly. But as it stands right now, I'm very optimistic that Erling Haaland will become a Chelsea player. That's not me saying I'm too confident, but I would say there's a very good possibility that Haaland could be a Chelsea player. It really comes down to how much Chelsea pay up, because Haaland's already expressed his interest in signing for Chelsea. He would like to sign for Chelsea. It all comes down to Roman and the hierarchy, how much they're really desperate for Haaland. And to be honest, they should be desperate, because we need a world-class number 9 if we are serious for competing with Man City for the Premier League title. It's as simple as that. But what do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Now let's move on to another top striker priority. According to Nizar Kinsella, of course, as I mentioned, he writes for the English publication Goal.com. Harry Kane is a primary target for Chelsea this summer. Now, if you delve into the article, there's not that many exclusive information. A lot of it's recycled and regurgitated, which is a bit frustrating, because for weeks on end now, we've been hearing that Harry Kane is a primary target, that Erling Haaland is a priority for Chelsea. But we haven't heard anything advanced. We haven't heard anything new, which leads me to believe that, as I've said before, Chelsea are cooking behind the scenes. And I'm telling you now, Chelsea better be cooking behind the scenes, because I cannot be heading into the new season with no new striker. Yeah, as good as Timo Werner is, as generational as Kai Havertz is, these are not, prolific goal scorers. Kai Havertz is more of a false 9, number 10 player. Putting that burden on a 21-year-old is not easy. Erling Haaland is proving it. He's a natural number 9. He's prolific. He's done it at RB Salzburg. He's done it at Dortmund. He's done it on the highest stage at European football as well. And of course, we know Harry Kane in the prime of his career. He's been prolific for over 5 seasons now. Now, again, we keep seeing these Harry Kane rumours pop up. How realistic are they? I'm still not convinced they're realistic, because honestly, I can't see a universe or a world where Harry Kane becomes a Chelsea player. If Harry Kane becomes a Chelsea player, Daniel Levy would have to hand in his resignation letter the next day. He would have to leave. He's not surviving the Spurs fans, the backlash from the Spurs fans. They couldn't sign Gattuso because of the backlash from the Spurs fans. So could you imagine if they literally sold Harry Kane to their arch rivals in Chelsea, their London rivals, competing for the Premier League, strengthening us? Can you imagine? No, that can't run. That can't run. He would literally have to hand in his resignation letter as soon as possible. The minute Harry Kane signs a dotted line for that Chelsea contract, he has to have that resignation letter ready, served up to hand in, because he has to leave his job. And not only has to leave his job, he has to leave London. He cannot be seen on the streets of Tottenham. If he gets seen on the streets of Tottenham, he's getting lynched. Simple as that. So, at the end of the day, I don't see this being realistic whatsoever. I don't see Harry Kane becoming a Chelsea player. Of course, in football, anything is possible. Always remember that one key word that as I keep saying, nothing's impossible in life. Not just in football, but in life. And Harry Kane could, of course, become a Chelsea player, but the chances, the odds are so slim. And I think, of course, Erling Haaland is a much, bigger prospect and a much better possibility of happening. I just don't see it. For me, if Harry Kane's on the move, he's Man City bound, because Man City, they're not, London rivals. They're not direct rivals, as so to speak. They're not competing directly. Of course, Harry Kane and Chelsea and Tottenham, that rivalry is so big and major that I just don't see Harry Kane ever signing with Chelsea. Whereas with Man City, the rivalry isn't so severe, so to speak. So I do see Man City, of course, if they cough up the money, they already had that £100 million bid rejected. But of course, Man City are going to increase their pursuit and be a lot more aggressive. And in regards to Chelsea, as I keep stressing, I don't see this being realistic. I mean, if any of you guys think this is realistic, I want you to explain why you think this is realistic. Because unless Chelsea offer a staggering fee, we're talking minimum 150. And even then it won't happen, because even if we somehow get convince Levy to sell Harry Kane to Chelsea, we've then got to directly negotiate with Tottenham. Now let's look at it from a logical perspective. Harry Kane is a Spurs legend. He's their best ever player, hands down, in terms of technical ability, in terms of the amount of goals scored, in terms of what he's done for them. I know he's won nothing, but in terms of what he's given Tottenham fans, the consistent top 4 finishes, the Champions League final, the goal scoring record, etc. He is Spurs' best player in their history. Yeah, could you imagine them strengthening Chelsea in his prime? He would ruin his legacy completely. Anything he's done at Tottenham would be ruined. His legacy would be completely ruined. I don't think that he wants to, burn that bridge between the Spurs fans, because I think he's got Spurs in his heart, which is understandable. He's made his career there. He's made his football there. He's got a close relationship with the fans. He doesn't want to burn that, and rightly so. So he would rather not jeopardise that and move to Man City. Hence why I just don't see this being realistic at all. So that's why I keep saying that I just don't see this happening. But what do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. But finally, let's move on to a youngster at Chelsea, Billy Gilmour. It looks like he's on the verge of signing on loan for Norwich City. According to Sky Sports, Norwich are closing in on the signing of Billy Gilmour on loan from Chelsea. The Scotland midfielder has agreed to join the Canaries for the 2021/22 Premier League season. He's expected to undergo a medical following his COVID-19 quarantine later this week. Of course, Billy Gilmour, unfortunately, he conducted a positive test for the coronavirus, and so he was unable to play Scotland's last game against Croatia, where they got knocked out with the Euro 2020, and he's currently self-isolating. For me, I've already made a video on this. I think in terms of tactics, in terms of his growth and development, Norwich City is a perfect move forward. Now let's look at the perspective, let's look at the logistics here. Daniel Farke, who's currently the Norwich City manager, has a close relationship with Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel, both German of course. They worked together at their time at Dortmund. Fantastic relationship together. Norwich, they play attacking football. They're going to be playing in the Premier League. Billy Gilmour, we promised first team game time. That's perfect for his growth and development. In terms of tactic, it's sublime. Billy Gilmour plays in that pivot, in that double six position at Chelsea. Norwich City play an identical formation with a four at the back, but they play with the pivot. Billy Gilmour will slot nicely there. He's got the experience, he's got the tactics and the nous from Thomas Tuchel, and he can carry that over to Norwich City. He's going to be improving Norwich City, so it's a win-win because, of course, he's a top player, he's a very, very talented individual. And, of course, he's going to be getting that game time, week in, week out game time in the Premier League, where he's going to be fresh and ready to come back to Chelsea, which is perfect for all parties. And, of course, Norwich get a superb player, technically very gifted, amazing passing range, operating in the lines, good in terms of covering the ground, defensively as well. He has many superstar attributes, and, of course, he's very talented, you know, moving in lines, passing, decent in terms of tackling and interceptions. Again, in terms of controlling and dictating the game, very similar to Jorginho in that mould. And I think he'd be perfect for Norwich City. So I'm looking forward to how this loan develops. It looks pretty much confirmed. I guess, you know, Billy Gilmour will be moving to Norwich City. But what does that mean for Chelsea? If Billy Gilmour leaves, that leaves Chelsea with three midfielders. Jorginho, Kovacic, Kante for two positions. That's not enough, especially if we play four at the back. Meaning, Chelsea either will sign a midfielder or we're going to be keeping one of Conor Gallagher or Ruben Loftus-Cheek. So keep your eyes peeled on that one. Any updates you'll be hearing on this channel, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see all of you guys for another video. Peace.